It's Wednesday night, and we're live from Oakdale, Washington, in the Educated Touch studio. Welcome to Ethics Outside the Box, with your host, Nathan Nordstrom. Special guests include you. Here he is, Nathan Nordstrom.
Well, hello and welcome to Ethics Outside the Box. We are talking ethics and having a heck of a time doing it. We are here today to kind of connect a few things and kind of finish up one standard practice and increase another standard practice. We're going to get through this a lot, but we just wanted to make sure that you guys were all set up and engaged with where and what to find for sorry, just checking my microphone. Everything's going good there. Wonderful. Continue recording. So we are just getting excited about finding more about ethics and kind of what the standards of ethics are for a licensed massage therapist. So we are starting out. I actually today have a whole bunch of you who are going to be my guests here today. I'd like to say hello to Jennifer and hi, Jennifer. Yeah, right there. John, Tamara. Let's see. Who else do we got? We've got Tamara. We got Cameras. We have Ben Glosson, Bruce, Mark Hemingway. Thank you guys for joining me. Bruce, I'll pick on you some more just because I'm so good at it. And Ben, I have to pick on you once in a while as well, just to keep you both humble. Hope all is well. I'm going to remind people that if you're part of my friends and you are not a massage therapist, congratulations, you are one of the few. But along with that, you probably have kind of veered into the wrong place because I'm going to be talking all about massage therapy. If you haven't looked into getting a massage, first of all, contact me, message me. I'll get you connected with a massage therapist in your local area without a doubt, and they will all be high-quality massage therapists without any concerns of expectations. So that is the piece here. I'm going to pull these off here because I'm hoping I should be able to hear everything that I need to. So we're going to start out today with finding out where we go to find the Code of Ethics for a massage therapist. If you haven't seen the show, I don't know where you've been for the last 8 months, but I want to make sure that everyone knows if you're looking for the Standard of Practice and the Code of Ethics for the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Body Workers, you would be going to NCBTMB.org. We're going to shrink this back down to something reasonable here. So that's what your new National Certification Board's website looks like. Its homepage is here. They actually updated a lot, made things look a lot better. They actually put National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Body Workers on the front cover, which they didn't have for a long time. So it's nice to see that people are finding out what NCBTMB stands for. However, if you are looking for what the Code of Ethics or the Standard of Practice for a massage therapist, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. You can find it actually several other places, but I'm just going to always go down to the bottom because I haven't had a problem finding it always at the bottom. You see About Us and About NCB, Bylaws, Certification Board, Code of Ethics. If you're wondering about what ethics standards there are for licensed massage therapists, this is the place to find it. The NCBTMB policies, so how they run as an organization, what standards they have, what pieces they have there, as well as if you want to be a volunteer, this is a great place to be looking at what the policies are. However, we're going to talk about standards of practice. So the standard of practice of a massage therapist is a piece that we're really trying to push through. There is a background and a preamble explaining what it is. The first standard of practice is professionalism. We expect that all massage therapists are acting in a professional way. And they defined that out over the last several weeks as we kind of went through Standard 1. And we are now finishing up Standard 2, legal and ethical requirements. Oh boy, yeah, we got some other people who have joined us. Thank you for coming in, everybody. It's great to see you. If you have any questions or want to chat, feel free to keep it on massage therapy related topics, please. And we'll keep it going there. So yes, sup, Mark. That's all I have to say about Mark. Sup. Hey, Rockstar. Thanks, Tamara. All right, so we're going to come all the way down to Standard 2, and we are at the end of Standard 2, I and J. So Standard 2I is report to National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Body Workers, NCBTMB, within 30 days of discovery of any pending complaints in any state or local government or quasi-government board or agency against his or her professional conduct or compliance, or that of another certificant, and the resulting resolution of such complaint. Okay, so this actually goes back into the series of the last couple of weeks. So if you haven't been playing or hanging out, let's just kind of get you held up and caught up really quickly. If we go up just a couple, we have Standard 2F. This is where you need to talk about and report any disciplinary or discovery of evidence of firsthand knowledge of violations of the NCB Code of Ethics to the NCB Code Board. The next one is any criminal convictions to the National Certification Board. The next one is civil litigations to the National Certification Boards. And now we're getting into pending complaints. So we have a huge variety here, and the pending complaints and the Code of Ethics are usually the lower on the scale. These are the ones that are important to know there's a complaint that's pending against you, and I find it interesting that they toss in quasi-government. But if there's any pending challenge against your professional abilities as a massage therapist, that should be reported. And I go back to what I said, I think last week, maybe the week before. The important piece isn't that you're reporting others. The important piece is that you're reporting yourself. This sounds horrible. This sounds bizarre. This sounds abstract. However, it's important that you're putting yourself out there. Bruce says, had a Wi-Fi problem. What did I miss? Yeah, you missed a lot. I'm speaking pretty fast, guys. Colette, it's great to see you. Hey, everyone's saying hi to Ben instead of me, and I'm the host. That's okay. I love Ben. All right, Ben, so toss in a couple of words of hello to everybody. But the importance of looking at what complaints are there. So I just recently heard about a massage therapist. It happened several years ago, but a massage therapist who was accused of doing something wrong. And the location that the doctor whose office he worked at, he didn't report that there was a complaint because he didn't feel he had to, because he didn't get the complaint, the police did. The police came in and did their investigation and said nothing happened. And so in that, the doctor said, okay, if nothing happened there, I don't have any right, I don't have any need to report it because the police said it wasn't, they didn't pursue any legal actions towards this therapist. Well, that's a challenge in and of itself, because that key piece is when we start looking at how you're communicating, why you're communicating, when you're communicating, making sure that you're having full disclosure. So what does full disclosure refer to? It's been a lot. It's a lot there. Hey, Chris Deary says, hi, Ben. Just to let you know, Ben, people are loving on you. And then got a new tay. Gotcha. Oh, yes. Sorry. Thank you, Chris Deary. Yes, I am instead of Nate, I am Nute. So yeah, so great to see everyone kind of coming in and connecting. If you have questions, feel free to toss them up and we'll go there. But we want to talk about quasi-governments. We want to talk about pending complaints, and making sure that everyone is free and clear, that there isn't any concern about where that pending complaint is coming from or who that pending complaint is on. It's just there and an honest thing. I have had people who have stated, and hopefully this is no one who's on the line here, who have stated, well, I don't want to report them because my actions might interfere with their ability to practice. I hope everyone goes, to that statement, because it wasn't your actions that interfered with their ability to practice. It is their actions that have limited their ability to practice. So if you're concerned about complaining about someone's bad behavior, remember, you're informing the state licensing board, you're informing the national certification board, you're informing the appropriate group who they represent that this is what they're being represented by. You know, there's some real benefit to that. It's really nice to be able to say, we don't want people out there looking at me and saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, when it's not who we are or what we do. This regularly goes to, in my mind, to massage therapists who, I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to have to, who won't call out a prostitute on being a prostitute. They say, you know, just because they're doing sexual favors as they're not who I am as a massage therapist, but they do give a black eye to your profession. They make people think massage therapy is something, something that is there and something that is inappropriate. It is not what they're saying. It is what they're doing, and you speaking up against it allows that to be separated from who you are. It allows it to be pulled away from massage therapy and put into its rightful category of prostitution. So if we are truly looking at, and I'm going to get away from sex because that is so not what ethics is, but I always have to point out a little bit to remind people that it is something that we have to be conscious of, and we have to be stating what we are and then what they are, and be honest with that. So what is it that we do and who we are? What are some of the other complaints that massage therapists have against themselves or against massage therapists? Injury. This is one that I always want to be conscious of and want to engage massage therapists in. Generally, I've actually been preparing a webinar coming up in October regarding confidence and self-discipline and confidence, and really getting into this concept of, you have people who are on both ends of the confidence scale. You have people who are underconfident, and you have people who are overconfident, but you always talk about sex. Wow, thanks, Chris. Oh, Zerlin. Moving on. So we have these confidence scale that hopefully, if everyone's doing it right, they're going to be right in the middle. They're going to be confident, not boastful or prideful. And so we want people not to be underconfident, because underconfidence can lead to problems where they're not willing to work with a knowledgeable experience of the profession, or a knowledgeable experience with the direction, not willing to work with every tool that they have because they just don't know. And that also creates a communication barrier when it comes to our clients. Our clients are actually looking at us as professionals, and if you have not enough confidence in your skills, then it's going to be hard for your client to have confidence in you. Now, going the other direction, you can be an overconfident massage therapist, and you can say, hey, I can do this, and I can do that, I can fix this, I can fix that, I can change the world, and that overconfidence can give you too much confidence, can actually create a problem because you're willing to do something that is not safe. So looking at that balance of safety, I know several times I tease my friend Bruce Baltz about safety and about confidence, because he's not lacking in confidence, but he counterbalances it with a boatload of humility. So that is the piece where we can say, you know, confidence is important. Humility is our counterbalancing when we have enough confidence to make sure that we remember what our limitations are. The other piece that really helps is a good anatomy class where you advance your knowledge and skills as a massage therapist and say, oh yeah, guess what? I'm not all that. I don't know everything about my practice. Those are skills that help us remember that we have a place and we have an ability to improve ourselves. Hello, Jennifer. It's great to see you. And Donna, you're there too. All right, so when we're talking about complaints, what actually has to happen before you have a complaint? Anybody wants to click in on that? That's a unique question. You have to have done something that someone felt very inappropriate about. They felt like you did something wrong, and then they have to speak up about it. They've got to connect with it. They've got to communicate with you or with a state licensing board to make a complaint or form a complaint. I'm going to share a web page here because I had an opportunity to look at a few wonderful things. And that one. And I was on the internet the other day because I'm on the internet every day because I pretty much have to be. But I went to the New Jersey Board of Massage Therapy, and I found something that really kind of interests me. When we go to any state licensing board, you're always going to look for a couple of things. The first one is kind of who licensed them, that kind of stuff. Truly, Google has gotten really good at just type in fill in the blank state, Board of Massage Therapy, and most of the time you're going to get to their state licensing board's website. If not, there's going to be a couple of pretty close connections. So the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs is who the New Jersey State Board of Massage Therapy is under. And they have a bunch of alerts just to let people know pursuant to NJSW. They're actually renewing for state licensure coming up. And so that is a really important piece. However, when you get into the New Jersey Board of Massage and Bodywork Therapies, you have this left-hand column that goes through. And that left-hand column has all the standard information that you'd be looking for from a state licensing board. Kind of important to read those things and kind of know where you're at, especially if you're licensed in the state of New Jersey, which I'm not, but people ask me for all different states on how to get to their state licensing board. The one that I was intrigued with was on the right-hand side, file a complaint. And this is the Consumer Affairs Division. The Consumer Affairs Division actually has a spot where you can fortify and focus out to each of those local different boards that are under the Consumer Affairs Division. So as you hit the file a complaint, these complaints are based off of first-hand knowledge, first-hand experience. And it goes through and connects with where that's at. Most complaints are based off of first-hand knowledge. If you do not have first-hand knowledge, going into a state licensing board and saying, hey, I heard this, doesn't give you the best ability to connect with what they're looking for. A first-hand knowledge complaint that is open. So in many states, they allow you to anonymously complain. However, it doesn't hold any real weight because they can't follow through and follow up with you and get full information of what happened. So anonymous complaints are usually pretty low on the list, but being able to report and connect and communicate is really, really important so that you can improve the skill and the understanding of what is happening. So a complaint has to happen. So once that complaint has happened, the next piece is that it needs to go through the licensing board. Now you have massage therapists on the state licensing board. Actually, hold on, we got a statement here. Ben, treat clients outside the scope of your training. Treat clients outside scope of your training, learning to as I don't know. Ben? I'd say deep, but I don't get it. Treating clients outside scope of your training. Oh, yeah. So treating people outside of your scope of practice is definitely another one. So if someone's a massage therapist doing something outside of their scope of practice, that is another huge challenge. You want to make sure that you have that connection, that if someone is a massage therapist and they're practicing physical therapy, chiropractic, they're using an ultrasound machine and it's outside of their scope, any of those things that are outside of the scope of practice is important to remember to report. Now that would also be for other state licensing boards. So if someone's if someone is brought up on charges under the chiropractic board and they say, hey, you know what, you're not a chiropractor, it's up to that chiropractic board to then report to the licensing board. And then the National Certification Board is saying, if they are a nationally certified massage therapist, then you need to report them to us as well, so that we can have our say and kind of connect in there as well. Any of these licensing boards or agencies or associations all need to do their own independent research. They really do want to make sure that they are not operating off of each other's. Like personal training, thank you, Bruce. Yes, if they are operating as a personal trainer or an athletic trainer, I hadn't even put that one as deep together, but yes, if you're acting as a trainer of any sort and you don't have the certificate that allows you the ability to do that, that's an important add-on there as well to be connected with. Okay, so as we go through and we start looking at each licensing board and each group having to do their own investigation, that's where a lot of strength comes in. Now, if there are some that supersede, so if someone goes to jail because they were sexually assaulting their clients, state licensing boards won't say, well, we didn't quite see exactly what the legal defense said, so they're going to say, okay, he's lost his license also because he's really can't be a effective massage therapist while he's in jail. But there are other groups as well and other things to be conscious of and connected to. All right, so there is an important piece going on to the next slide here, or the next topic. Wrong one. Here we go. There we go. Standard 1 or 2J. Standard 2J. I'm just going to get it nice and big so everyone can read it. Hopefully. There we go. Respect existing publishing rights and obey copyright and trademark laws, including but not limited to those that apply to National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Body Workers copyright protected examinations. Whoa. All right, so here's what they're actually saying. First of all, you can't cheat. Don't cheat on our exam, and don't break the laws when it comes to our copyright as a certification board. There is an exam to become a board certified massage therapist, and in that exam you have the responsibility, according to this standard, to make sure that you don't share the test with anyone, that you don't go through and really progress and push forward in making something wrong, doing something wrong to allow other people to become board certified without that skill. However, I really want to go back to really respect existing publishing rights and obey copyrights and trademark laws. I'm going to tell on myself here and say tisk on me. When I was in massage school and getting ready to do my first business cards and that kind of stuff, I really have to say, and I'm going to feign ignorance, but the challenges with just feigning ignorance is I may have been ignorant, but that doesn't make it right. So yeah, I took my first business card and took pictures and put it all together and figured out, hey, how can I make this the coolest looking business card? Because I don't have very much information at all to put on here, but I really want to have that look good and look right and look happy. And as I got through that first business card, I did then learn, hey, you know what? You can't quite do this. And I started working on what I wanted my business card to look like. That is me. I actually went through a couple of copyright lawyers and my brother-in-law, and we got things put together. My brother-in-law is an artist, and so a graphic artist, and we put together a nice business card. And it's hard. I have to say, it's not easy to do things right. But when you do it right, you have your business card that looks like you want it. This goes to one of my favorite websites for business cards. When you start looking at who is doing it right, you can get a business card for one of these quick copy places where they have a really discounted price because they all have the same look or have a similar look or a similar display that kind of goes through. But you want to make sure that as you're doing that same look, that you specialize something that's just a business idea. It's not that you're breaking copyright by using theirs. You have absolute right for copyright. You also have to look at the very beginning of the show today. I actually changed it up. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I'm going to play that one more time here and see. Nope, I'm not. I already closed it out. That's how that rolls. So being able to say, hey, we all want to make sure that things are looking and sounding right, because I have a website that I use quite regularly now called Soundblocks. So you're going to hear that I changed up the music for the introduction. And in that changing up of the music for the introduction, I had to make sure to go to a royalty-free company that made sure that all of my audio was appropriate. I also ended it with a pretty awesome explosion. Boom. Yeah, that's me just being goofy because that's who I am. If you didn't know that I'm goofy, I don't think we've met much in world. Yes, audio blocks. It's story blocks and audio blocks are two really awesome tools that I've been playing with. So we have that, but that's me making sure that I am following the laws and following this specific standard to follow copyright and copyright laws and trademark laws. And I like that on this one, they don't just go to them. They don't say, hey, you have to follow our copyright and copy protection, but you don't really have to do anybody else's. They say, you know what, if you're getting in trouble for copyright infringement or trademark infringement, you're gonna be in trouble with us too. So make sure not to do it. They've said it in several different ways as we go through, and we can only say it so many times before I hope everyone knows that following the laws of the land is important. I've put it down several different times that not all laws are ethical and not all ethics are legal. So if you live in a country where you have an unethical law, not following that law may be the right path, but it may not be. You have to kind of put yourself on that cross. Now, I've had students who have in massage school who have told me, Nathan, I don't think this is right. I don't think I should have to do that. And I said, well, are you comfortable with the consequences for not doing it? They're like, well, I don't want to get in trouble for it. Okay, well, then you're not holding the ethics hard enough or strong enough in your heart that you think you need to do something about it. If you feel that you have something that you need to do, stand up, be proud, be willing to step forward and hold to your standards of practice, hold to your code of ethics. You know, sometimes your personal code of ethics is going to tell you that you're needing to do something different. You're needing to step out. I think the hardest one for people nowadays, one of the top fears in this wonderful community that we have called America, is the fear of public speaking. And so if you think something's not right, but you're not willing to stand up and tell someone about it, then obviously you don't feel that strongly about it. I may get some people who are a little mad at me for that statement, but if you really think it's wrong, work to change it. That's the only way that we can improve society, is to work to change those things that are inappropriate, wrong, or evil. So part of those things are, you've got a gut, right? And a big chunk of the people on the webinar have attended Fully Exposed Ethical Dilemmas. And we've talked about the gut reaction or the ethical dilemma that your body feels. You know, there's a biological response when you're in an ethical dilemma. Your gut goes, ugh, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be doing that. That's gross. I hate that. Ugh, that's horrible. How dare someone do that? However, when you're in that gut reaction, are you acting in a way that changes it? Jen says, that's a great way to look at everything you do in life. Yeah, it's not just your practice as a business. It's not just your practice as a person. It's can be your personal mantra as well, to remember that you got to stand up for what's wrong. I've seen several YouTube videos, Facebook videos where they show someone doing something wrong, and then the next question is, what would you do if you saw this? And then I hear the responses, and I have to say some of the responses are just as bad as the video that is displaying the bad behavior. I think very much we have the eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth mentality, that Old Testament law. Very much my mantra. Wonderful, Jennifer. It's hard to go and stand and rise above bad things that happen to people, but if we don't, who will? And we will end up being an eyeless and a toothless society if everyone goes eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Because someone's going to offend, someone's going to do something on accident, and it will become a problem. So when we look at copyright laws, you know, it's interesting to say that copyright is important. I agree. The identity that someone has, or the time that someone has put into creating their trademark, their copyright, their own publishing rights, is important. The things that I've seen more as we get up further into the massage therapy industry, I've been in it for several years, and several of you have been in it for longer than I have. We usually see more in the copyright and trademark laws where someone is taking someone else's technique and naming it their own. This is the Bruce Balt's method of fill in the blank. Or this is Bruce Balt's. Yeah, this is the Bruce Balt's method of active isolated stretching. Bruce, you're in trouble. No, but anybody else who you have a certain trademark where you have taken something from someone else and hijacked it for your own explanation, your own terms, you know, that's where we start saying that is copyright, trademarked material. Even if it isn't, you're still stealing. So being able to get back to what are you stealing and what can you use? How do we define that difference? How do we pull out the concept of, in massage therapy, there is nothing new. There have been people doing massage since the beginning of time. And so when we start looking at the new technique that's out there, or the new idea, or the new change, it's nothing new. Well, Glenneth Moyle has joined us. Hi, Glenn. There's nothing new. It's not a new aspect. It's a different way of approaching it than what you've experienced in your past. And being able to remember that everyone's terms and where you've gotten it. I had one class that I do actually with Ben. Ben, we call it Structures Integrated for Functional Movement. And we look at the human body in a functional way at 1 hour classes at a time. Now, is this a play on words for structural integration? Well, there's some of it that's based off of that. There's some ideas that are there, but it's not structural integration. It is massage therapy specific. Now, we also look at several other techniques, and we talk about Ida Rolf, and we talk about James Laszlowski and Whitney Lowe and Bruce Baltz and some of these other people who have influenced the technique with which we use. Being able to say that these are the people who have influenced us really explains and pushes the information back to the right authority. So being able to have a good reference dialogue for anything that you do is so important. Hey, Dan, it's good to see you. But is it? LOL, Bruce. It's your active isolated stretching. Yeah, so being able to push forward and say, as a massage therapist, what can I do and what do I do and what do I want to do? Most massage therapists say, I do fill in the blank massage. I do Nathan Nordstrom massage. And then that client says, gosh, I can only go to Nathan Nordstrom and get his type of massage. And then you go to Dan Schwartz, and Dan Schwartz has his type of massage. And Glenneth Moyle, before she retired, you could only get Glenn Moyle massage from Glenn Moyle. However, how do we know how to refer other people out? How to refer people to the right source? You know, part of that is going to be referring. Part of that's going to be drawing. Hey, Kayleen, how are you? Good to see you. But being able to do something that is so bizarre in our industry, and it's kind of bizarre that it's not looked at in our industry, but this idea of trading massages, getting a massage from another massage therapist, giving a massage to another massage therapist, with the expectation that you will learn something from that massage therapist, and you'll learn something from their technique that either you like or you don't like, something you want to do or something you really don't want to do. Those are important pieces, you know. And then the second one is that you can give your experience freely to another massage therapist without expectation of something in return. Because if I have an office where I've got 28 massage therapists and I have my books are completely full and everyone else's books are completely empty, I may have a steady practice. However, I can't refer out because I don't know what they do because I haven't received a massage. Guess what? Your neighbors need to have a massage. Just looking at statistics, 19% of Americans in the United States received massage in 2017. So that's almost 1 in 5. The only way we can build that number is for each massage therapist to work with each other so that we can all improve, increasing our practice so that massage therapists can have a high standard and a high expectation, and the clients can be appreciative of good quality massage. By trading with other massage therapists, for those people who have a booming, successful business, we can then allow other massage therapists to really follow in our footsteps and be successful as well. I really do love that massage therapists are willing to step into continuing education. Bruce says, Aaron Mattis is number one. That is so true. And Aaron is one of those aspects where he stepped up and said, hey, we want to make sure that my information is good and right. And I want to make sure to spread it out as well. And so Aaron has trained, oh my gosh, Bruce, any idea? Thousands, maybe tens of thousands of massage therapists with active isolated stretching. And massage therapists have become better because they've taken on a new idea and a new concept and been able to practice it in different ways. I also love the idea of, well, I do the technique right and someone else does it wrong. Really? I do it right and they do it wrong? Well, the only way to do a technique wrong is to hurt somebody. And if they're not hurting someone and you're not hurting someone, you may be doing it different, but neither of you are doing it wrong. Okay, even better than us. Yes, Jennifer, we all want to be improved, and we all can improve each other by working together. And then we can all be better than we are. So if you are a massage therapist, I'm going to put a challenge out there, and you haven't gone out or you've been in practice for anything over 5 years. I think 5 years is a magic number, that in 5 years, you actually have had enough experience to where you could teach one thing. You could teach a very specific idea or technique. I love how the Massage Therapy Foundation asks and begs and hopes for professional case studies, because a professional case study will really help massage therapists improve and will give them that initial feeling of presenting information that they've experienced and will help train the next generation in writing. The International Journal of Therapeutic Massage and Body Workers, IJTMB, is a great tool that is free for publication and free for us to read. Obviously, ijtmb.org, or go to the Massage Therapy Foundation's website, and they're giving away information for us all to improve. No copyrights needed. You just have to make sure that you're quoting that you got it from the International Journal, and that that gives you an opportunity to improve. All of us need those opportunities to be watching for what we need to do and how we need to go up to that next stage and and do that next improvement. All right, so let's get back here to standard 2J. Actually, let's go back to I real quick. Report to the National NCB within 30 days of discovery of any pending complaints in any state or local jurisdiction or quasi-government board or agency. If anyone out there can tell me what quasi-governments they might be referring to, I don't think Donna with the NCB is on vacation, so she's not on here. But I'm really concerned about how many quasi-governments we'd be referring to. Quasi-government boards or agencies against his or her professional conduct or competence, or that of any certificant, and the results and resulting resolutions of such complaints. You know, being able to not only look out for the good, but look out for the bad. Watching for where people are at and where they're at. All right, so here we go. Any regulatory body Yes. Any regulatory body. Oh, okay. So a quasi-government as any regulatory body? Maybe. Local municipalities? Maybe. Hey, Desiree. Thanks for joining us. A quasi-government, I was thinking of Puerto Rico, but they're a government. I was thinking of American Samoa, but they're part of the states. Samoa maybe itself, or Tonga, some of the Pacific Islands, some of these smaller non-governmental governments, a micronation, something of that nature. But feasibly, they're talking more about the regulatory bodies. That probably makes more sense to be a quasi-government board or agency. Agents, his or her professional context. But yeah, so all right, so the boards themselves would be the quasi-governments that we would be referring to. So it's important to remember that if you hear any complaints, if you are hearing concerns, it's important for you to inform. You need primary first-hand knowledge, so you have to be conscious of that. You also need to be connecting with if someone does something to you that doesn't follow the standards of practice of the National Certification Board. If you get hurt by a massage therapist because they say, oh, well, you're a massage therapist, you know what it's like, you can take it. You like deep tissue, don't you? That's going to be important. South Georgia towns. Wow. That's saying something about South Georgia. Actually, any small town in the middle of nowhere in these governments can be a quasi-government. Yeah. So, and hi, Marla. It's great to see you and have you join us. So, all of those quasi-governments, those pieces there are important, but let's also talk about respect existing publication rights and obey copyrights and trademark laws. Now, this is not just that you're using copyright laws or trademark laws. It also falls under using someone's name. So if you're looking at the Structural Integration Society, or I think the easiest one would be Rolfing, the Ida Rolf School of Massage or School of Integrated Medicine or Integrated. Darn it, I knew I'd screw that up. Rolfing is a structural integration technique. And so if you're out there publishing that you're a Rolfer or a structural integrator, you better have stuff to back yourself up, because you may or may not be appropriately connecting with that. If you look in any advertisement for a structural integrator, you'll almost always see this little picture that is a person standing in blocks, and the blocks are out of a line on top of each other. And that is one of the branded pieces for a structural integrator. And so when you start looking at trademarks or copyrights, or the acronyms that are out there. So Society for Oncology Massage is one of those acronyms that is a really important piece to look at. And I've been looking at them for several years, and several of my friends here are with S4OM. If you're interested in looking at oncology massage, going to s4om.org is an important tool that you can go through and find massage therapists or educators of massage therapists who teach quality education for oncology massage. It's a really defined group, so be able to connect that way. But be able to say that you have gotten approval from them and you are a certified individual for that, if that's what you're going to do. To be actually, you know what? Let's do this right here. I've been talking about them. .org. Society for Oncology Massage.org is their website, S4OM. I always love how there's a number in the middle of it. It throws off a lot of my coworkers. So this is the Society for Oncology Massage's website. We regularly want to connect with how things are working and connect with the right educators and making sure that they're in the right place. Sorry, I got distracted by you guys talking. Hey, Maureen, it's great to see you. Let's see. Hey, Bruce. And Marla, I already got you. Perfect. So I love how their providers are the instructors for the Society for Oncology Massage. If I click on that, you'd want to know that all of these people have been approved to be providers or educators for the Society for Oncology Massage. There's 3 pages. There's 35 of them, if I am correct at last count. Provider courses. If you want to be a massage therapist who is known for oncology massage, you would go to here and you would go through the classes that create a standard so that you could be listed on the therapist search. No matter what group you'd be looking at, it's important for you to remember that you're meeting the standards that they have put out. You're meeting the standards that are set aside for that group. And in massage therapy, you have a whole lot of niche grouping. You have the Society for the Oriental Medicine group, and they actually have a training and expectation and a standard. You have the structural integrators, and they've got a standard. You have sports massage, and they've got a group and a standard, and they've got a certificate, and there's different groups connecting in different ways. These are all different groups that will give you an ability to connect, but you only connect once you have met the expectation so that you can hold their copyrights, their trademarks. You can truly say that you're part of them and you are doing everything right to meet their standard. Okay. All right, standard 3 next week, we're going to start getting into confidentiality. This is actually going to be exciting for me. I really do appreciate going through and talking about the different levels of confidentiality and different places where confidentiality is important. We're not going to have too many weeks of confidentiality. Let's see, it goes through E. So I think it's A, B, and then C, D, E. So 2 days or 2 weeks of that. But we're going to talk about confidentiality and the importance of it and how to go through and make sure that you're connecting with the right roles and right placement, not only of documents, but of shredded documents, as well as the personality of your clients and who they are. We'll be playing that game next week and for the next 2 weeks. Thank you once again for joining me, guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Before I go, I want to just kind of make sure I'm not skipping over anything. Let's see, Chris says, all of it comes down to how they are enforced. Oh, Chris, that's a big statement and so darn true. Enforcement is a huge piece, and it's an important piece that when you start looking at, you have to have that enforcement connected. And then Jennifer says, I'm looking forward to next week's discussion. Woohoo! All right. Enjoy your week. We will see you after the weekend back on Wednesday. If you need anything, you can reach me at nathan@educatedtouch.com. You can connect with me anytime, any place, or hit me up on Facebook. My messenger is always open. Be well, enjoy, and I will talk to you again soon, guys. Peace.
The hour has flown by. We hope you've enjoyed this discussion with Ethics Outside the Box. As you've seen, Nathan uses many second-hand stories of ethical situations. If you'd like to share your story or you have any questions, feel free to contact him at nathan@educatedtouch.com. If you have just watched this video and would like to continue in education for home study, you can go to shop.educatedtouch.com under the home study options with the date or episode number to receive your exam. If you would please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we will keep you up to date on new videos. If you'd like to attend one of our live courses, you can find upcoming scheduled events at www.educatedtouch.com. Thank you for joining us today.